Action! In the Vietnam War, women fought amongst men in the front lines with little to no training. They died with those men. Lynn!
Okay, I think we can get for a quick nap.
What happened? What happened to her? Is she okay?
I don't know. I wasn't trained for this.
We have to save her. She's my only friend left.
We have to move her before any more soldiers come.
She wasn't ready for this.
None of us
This
were.
is Andrea Washington reporting a newly found story about a woman from the Vietnam War. Her name is Mary Johnson. Let's listen to her side of the story. What kind of struggles did you face in the Vietnam War?
Well, obviously, the struggles that all soldiers faced, heavy loads, bad living conditions, bad food, and bad clothes. But I'm not going to say it was harder for me, but it was different. Because I was a woman, and most of my fellow soldiers were men, I was treated with much less respect. Some men complained that I couldn't keep up with them, I couldn't carry the same loads as them, I wasn't as strong as them or as good of a fighter. But, I mean, they didn't volunteer for this. They were drafted. I came on my own, and I got no respect for it. But, it's just the times, and things will get better. I know.
So did you keep a kind of journal or any letters?
Yeah, actually, this is a compilation of letters and journal that I carried with me all the time. They got wet and they're old, but it was helpful to have relics from my past and to keep a record. I know that someday my grandchildren and great-grandchildren will like to read it and know what it was like for me.
What kind of recovery or reaction did you have to the war?
Well, I knew it was going to be hard, but I mean, I had no idea the emotional stress every day, wondering if like people around you or yourself are gonna make it, and it's just so stressful. And then physical, like we carried so much weight with us every day, and it was just surprisingly terrible. But I took part in the fact that I was helping my country, and I knew that someday I would get the respect for it.
I know you've been through hard times, but can you describe the kind of conditions you lived in?
Well, okay, Miranda, can you, like, if you're gonna do that and, like,
Well, I know it wasn't your fault, and I mean, I hope your recovery, physically and emotionally, goes well and as fast as it can. Thank you, Mary, for being able to do this. This is Andrea Washington. Thank you for watching.
Don't you have any supplies? I used it all on the other soldiers. I don't have anything left.
So we're running out of supplies and we're running out of soldiers. I really should be out there now, but I just can't leave her. I mean, she has a daughter, and her husband's in the war too. If neither of them make it, who's going to take care of her?
Go. The other soldiers need you. Little do they know you're a great addition to the troop. They need you out there.
Make it.
I know you've been through hard times, but can you tell us the kind of conditions you lived in during the war?
Yes. It was, it ranged from, like, fields to rice paddies. We, walked through those all the time. They're disgusting. It's wet, and there's bugs everywhere. But we never slept very comfortably. It was best when we were on the beaches by the sea.
I recognize that you had to be very careful when going to a specific place or traveling because of traps and violent armies that were using guerrilla warfare to fight against you. How did you feel about all that?
Well, it's very nerve-wracking not knowing where you can step, where you can walk, wondering if every step is going to be the step that kills you. But it was, you can't really say anything except for it was terrifying.
Undescribable. What was it like to witness, I know this would be a hard question for you, but to witness the deaths of other people around you?
It was terrible. My friend Lynn, one of the only other women that were in the line for the company, she was killed right in front of me. She didn't actually die in front of me, but I found her and I had to leave her, and I knew, part of me knew that she wasn't going to be okay. And just so many people, so many deaths, knowing that I caused some deaths by not doing the right things or not, just like, it was terrible.
General! Where have you been, soldier?
He's injured.
I don't care. Half of my army is injured. You get your butt out there.
This is Andrea Washington with another point of view and another story of the Vietnam War. Yesterday we interviewed Mary Johnson, a female soldier, one of the very few. And today we get the point of view of a male general, one of the very many. Here he is. So, General Clark, what was it like to have all of those soldiers' lives put in jeopardy by your own decisions?
It was hard. Tough, even to decide who would be more at risk to die.
Is there any soldiers that stick out in your mind?
Not many.
Do you remember a female soldier by the name of, Mary Johnson?
That donut dolly? Yes. She was a nuisance to the army, a waste. She was supposed to be a nurse, but she wouldn't accept that. Her father demanded for her to be in the army, so I had to. She's a woman too.
Well,
So good. Or she's a woman too.
so, did you feel the same way about other female soldiers?
Not at all. They blended right in. They were quiet.
And do you expect women to be quiet or outspoken?
Is this an interview or is this a women's rights seminar? Because I am going to leave if that's the case.
I'm sorry, General Clark. And I think that's enough questions for one day. Thank you. This is Andrea Washington. Thank you for listening. Well, I can see you have some hard feelings against Mary, and, so in general, are you against female soldiers?
Absolutely. I don't believe they belong in the war. I believe they belong as nurses or at home.
Did you treat them any differently from any other soldiers? Like any, I don't want to say prejudices, but just differences.
I tried my hardest not to. They're soldiers. I don't treat any of them differently.